Okay, here's the third video for 6-2 part 1. We're talking about the unit circle real quick. Where does it come from? Well, if I was to draw a 30-degree reference angle right there, I know I drew that really small. Okay, 30-degree reference angle, and because we're talking about the unit circle, the radius is 1, so the hypotenuse of this right triangle right in here is 1. And if we remember from last lesson, what is the ratio of the side lengths of a 30, 60, 90 triangle? It's 1 to 2 to rad 3. So if the hypotenuse is the middle one, it's right here. The hypotenuse is that side right there. The short side is over here. It's half as long. You see how 1 is half as long as 2? That means this side is 1/2. And then once you get the the short side, you multiply that times rad 3. Well, what's rad 3 times 1/2? Well, that it would just be rad 3 over 2. And so that's how, if you look at these distances of these sides of these triangles, that's how you get the coordinates at that point. It's the x coordinate and the y coordinate. So the coordinates at that point right there are rad 3 over 2 and 1/2, like that. Okay, this 30, 60, 90 triangle has the same basic shape all over the unit circle. I just drew 4 of them here to reference where they are. 2 of them are 30-degree reference angles and 2 of them are 60-degree reference angles. But anyway, let's say here's a 60-degree angle here. The hypotenuse is still 1. This is the short side of the triangle right here. So that length, the x coordinate of this point would be 1/2. And this is the long side of the triangle. So that'd be rad 3 over 2. But we're going negative in the x direction. That's why the coordinates of this point, and you'll see this on the unit circle here in a second, is going to be that right there. Same kind of logic goes over here for 45, 45, 90. If this reference angle right here is 45 degrees and the hypotenuse is 1, remember from our last lesson stuff, to go from the hypotenuse to one of the legs, you divide by rad 2. But in this case, you can't write the measurement of this side is that right there. They want you to remember to rationalize that length, and that's how you get the measure rad 2 over 2. So this side and this side are both rad 2 over 2. Okay, so that's just a little bit of history of how the unit circle came to be. And I need to show you the picture of the complete filled in unit circle. And I make a big note right here. You must take some time to sit here and memorize this. And there are symmetries and there are patterns everywhere. I leave it to you to look up some YouTube videos or sit there and memorize it on your own. This is what the whole thing looks like. Okay, you can go to embeddedmath.com to print out a copy of this right here. But if you can see the reference angles 30, 45, and 60, you have those same measurements I just talked about. Same thing over here, but look, the x coordinate is negative. You see how rad 3 over 2 and 1/2 is just reflected across the y-axis, but the x coordinate goes negative? We've talked about that before. And then again, you've got reference angles of 30, 45, and 60 here in quadrant 3. Look at how both coordinates are negative. Okay? So you need to memorize every single number and angle measure on here in every single way. All right, that's it for this video.